The legendary YAYA Toure, who played for Barcelona, who played for ManCity, who played for the Greek Giants in Olympiacos, has come out and given his prediction as to who is going to win the Afcon 2023 in his beloved country of Ivory Coast. And you will be shocked on one of the nations he mentioned. He mentioned 5 nations, and one country that is there will shock many. Well, that's not the only thing we'll be discussing on this episode, as I also want to give the best 11 that I think Hugo Broos should go with into Afcon. The best starting 11. What? I go by the name of Afcon Football, where I discuss anything to do with football from Africa to the world and from the world to Africa. Well, thank you for joining in, and this is a platform of engagement. Would really appreciate to hear your thoughts as to the chances that Bafana Bafana has got going into the tournament. Well, Bafana Bafana is in a group of 4. We are with Tunisia, Mali, and Namibia. And it's a 24 nations tournament. Obviously, 1 and 2 will progress to the last 16 because there's 6 groups. So it will mean that they will take the best of number 3s in 4 of those groups. Does Bafana Bafana have a chance of getting into the last 16? What are your thoughts? Without wasting any time, I really want to share. Obviously, this is my opinion. You'll tell me on the comments below what you think and what is your best 11 for Hugo Broos going into this tournament. Hugo Broos, if you followed him coaching Bafana Bafana, you'll know that he has played majority of the time a 4-2-3-1 system, and I'm gonna go with the same system but probably with different players. At this point in time, the last 23 have not been announced as yet. What we all know is the last 50, is it provisional squad or whatever they call it, that have been announced, and out of the 50, 23 will be taken. Now, this is what I think. I think players who are in the squad who play overseas, I mean, none of them should be left behind, but because majority of them are playing for the teams they're playing for on a regular basis. Ngezana, as a defender, I think the only defender amongst the defenders mentioned in this last 50 who's playing overseas. I don't remember any other. I will pick Ngezana over Sianda Xulu. Sianda Xulu, I think, but if you know Hugo Broos has been loyal to people who's been with him. For example, Nico Mobi has been a constant feature in Hugo Broos' squad ever since the guy took over as Bafana Bafana coach. So be rest assured, Nico Mobi will be a backup for Kuliso Mudau in the right back position. In fact, I think that Nico Mobi's flight ticket has already been booked, guaranteed. He's already in that final 23, Nico Mobi. But as for Sianda Xulu, I think the guy is slow. I think depending who you play him with at the back, sometimes he's compromised. But I think it's really not necessary to take Sianda Xulu with to this Afcon. I would rather take people who've gathered some experience, and Ngezana will be a good feature. And obviously some Sundance guys, your Mvala, your Grand Kekana, who have the experience of playing in CAF Champions League. We cannot take that one away. And then you put guys in the middle. Njabulo Blom cannot be left out. Shongwane, they play together in the MLS. They cannot be left behind. Now coming to the attacking forwards, Mihlali Mayambela has been with Hugo Broos for some time. We are not leaving him behind. He must be in that final 23. And then unfortunately, Lebu Mutiba got a week ago, got an injury, knee injury that's going to take him out for some months. I would have definitely taken him into the final 23. I would take Lebu Motiba over Lipasa, over Mukhopa, any day, anytime. The guy's experience is playing in the Afcon before when Stuart Baxter was still a coach, but unfortunately he cannot make it. And we are not sure yet as to what will happen with Lyle Frostler. Unfortunately, the guy also had some mental health issues, but he's back now, and I'm not sure if Vincent Kompany will be willing to release this guy for the Afcon. Obviously, it will depend with him whether he wants to represent the squad in Cote d'Ivoire or not. But having Lyle Frostler leading that lineup would be an added advantage for a Hugo Broos. So all the guys I've mentioned playing overseas, I even forgot to mention Sitole, who's playing in Portugal. All those guys must be in the final 2023. Now, what do I think, or who do I think should be the best 11 for Hugo Broos? Number one is an obvious one. Williams, no arguments on that one. Moveli Mutwa, Bavuma, Gross, Buthelezi, they cannot unseat the number one. That one is an obvious choice. Williams is the number one goalkeeper. The best right back at the moment in Africa and in South Africa is Khuliso Mudau. Now the left back position, I'm happy that Hugo Broos has acknowledged the gifts and the efforts of Fawaz Basadin, who plays for Stellies. The boy, I'm a huge admirer of the guy. And in that left back position, ever since Mayela has been out injured for some time, we've been playing a number of times Mudiba. Mudiba is an intelligent player. As much as I think that a left back position is not his natural position, because he can play as a 10, he can play as an 8, he can play as a 6, but he's been used there and he's been decent. Although if he's faced against some pacey players or skillful players, he'll be found wanting. But anyway, the Terence Mashiko is in this last 50, and Fawaz Basadin. Who would I take to back up Mudiba between Mashiko and Basadin? Mashiko has been coming up slowly but surely, but Basadin deserves a chance. He's got the body. He can take free kicks. He can take long. He's decent, although he doesn't have an experience in that international space. But anyway, but obviously the starter will be a Mudiba. So 1 Williams, 2 Khuliso Mudau, 3 2 Mudau, 3 Mudiba. And then the most sensitive part is that center-back pairing. Who do I go for? There's a lot of center-backs. There's Sibisi, there's Toki, there's Mvala, there's Kekana, there's Ngezana now. There's a lot of center-backs. There's Tulu as well. And but I will definitely go with the Sundowns boys because of the experience they have of playing in Africa. Some tough mental challenging matches that they have overcome. So I will pick Mvala and Kekana in that centre-back pairing. Although Koki, I would also prefer, but to pair Koki and Mvala as our centre-back pairing, these guys, they now and again they can be careless and they can cause some unnecessary free kicks, picking up yellow cards and red cards here and there. So to pair Mvala and a Koki would be risky. Hence, I'll rather go for someone who's smart and careful, like a Grand Kekana and Mvala at the back. So the back four are all Sundowns players. Call me biased, it doesn't matter. You can also make your own best 11. Now, Hugo Broos plays with the 4-2-3-1. So the two that will be shielding the back four, I'll go with the Sitole and the Tebogo Mokoena. I don't think there should be arguments there as well, because these two have played for Hugo Broos for some time, and there's consistency there. They know each other. And then now the front four, it's a Pesitao, the current player, a club player of the year in Africa, Pesitao, and our number 10, will be Mshishi Zwane, and I will place Shongwane playing for Minnesota in the MLS. And then, now this depends whether Frostler is coming or not. But for now, I will not put him in the starting 11 because we're not sure whether he's coming or not. I'd rather just put up that boy because South African players are very mobile. We are able to move around. So these front four can be able to shift around, playing false nine, but Mishali is the tallest and is the biggest of all the front four. So we'll play him as a target man. So that's the best 11, which I think can cause an upset in the tournament. It can surprise many people. But having a Frostler as well could mean that he's starting up top. But Frostler playing for Bafana, he has never really had a stand-out performance as opposed to your Mishali Mayambela. So this is the best 11, which I think if Bafana takes it, if Hugo Broos puts them out there and allows them to be free, because the type of players that are in this squad, that's not the type of players that are designed to park the bus, but it's players that are designed to actually play football, put it on the floor, can actually go to defenders, one-on-ones, Pesita, one-on-ones, Shongwane, one-on-ones, Mshishi can play in the pockets. So we have a decent squad. And the Sitole and Mukwena, if it will allow either a Mudiba or a Mudao to push up, while one of these guys is going to cover that space. So we have a pretty balanced 11, I think. And then it'll depend then who's on the bench to be impact players. We do have some decent players coming from the bench. So that's my best 11. Now, that's not the only thing for this episode. Now, YAYA Toure has given the 5 nations which he thinks might actually win the tournament. Now, one is a surprise, obviously. He's Ivorian. You call him biased, but a host nation will always be a favorite as well because the tournament is in its own country. So the chances of it winning with the 12th man backing them are also very high. So the obvious one, which it doesn't come as a surprise, is Ivory Coast. And then you mentioned Morocco. Morocco were the best performance in the Qatar World Cup. It doesn't come as a surprise. Senegal, they are the defending champions, winning this tournament in 2021. So it doesn't come as a surprise that the Lions of Teranga are also part and parcel of YAYA Toure's predictions as winners, that they can actually defend this cup. Number 4 is something I didn't see coming. It's not a Nigeria, it's not a Ghana, it's not a Cameroon, but YAYA Toure went for Guinea-Bissau. And his reasons were they did very well in their qualifiers for the tournament. So that is why he's giving Guinea-Bissau a chance. I'm not sure what the people of Guinea-Bissau think about their own team, but if you're backed by a legendary midfielder like YAYA Toure, then it means there's something he's seen in the team. Now, the surprise package of the 5 teams he mentioned as likely winners of Afcon 2023 is, hit those drums over there. Brrr. YAYA Toure honestly believes that Bafana, South Africa, is going to win this tournament. I think all South Africans are surprised. They are shocked. But now, I actually thought about this and I was like, okay, why would this guy actually give Bafana a chance to win this tournament? Now, it actually hit me that Bafana played a friendly with the Elephants about 2 months ago in Ivory Coast, Abidjan. And Bafana played extremely well. And in that first 11, or in fact the squad, Pesitao was not there. The front 4 was Lebu Mutiba, was Shongwane, Zwane, and Mayambela. It was a Sitole, it was a Mukwena at the back. I think it was Tulo and Mvala, Mudiba, and Mudao Williams as a goalkeeper. They played so well in such a way that I actually thought that we could have easily scored 4 goals in that match. Mudao missed a sitter. I don't know who else. I think Mudao missed about 2 sitters in the game. So the way we played in that game actually made a lot of African journalists to actually think about this Bafana Bafana squad as to what they could actually do when they go to the Afcon next month. So I'm surprised by it, but at the same time, if Hugo Broos allows Bafana Bafana to play, especially in the first half, to play the way they played against Ivory Coast in that friendly match, then we might say something. Do we have a chance in that 4-man group, or that 4 nations group? Tunisia, Mali, Namibia. We should be able to beat Namibia, but Namibia have some of the fittest players in the continent. You give Shalulile a chance, he bangs in a goal. Do we have a chance against Mali? Mali have a decent squad. They have a Besuma in that middle who dictates and controls everything. And the North Africans. But I think the biggest factor with most African nations when they go to big tournaments, your Afcon and your World Cup, there's always, okay, this is apart from the North Africans. I don't hear this with a lot of North African players, your Tunisia, your Egypt, your Morocco, your Algeria. But any other nation, West Africa, Southern Africa, Central Africa, there's always fightings with their federations as how the bonuses will be shared, and then you end up having teams not performing. So I hope that the federations will sort out the bonuses and money issues before the tournament, because if they're not sorted out, be rest assured we'll have some shockers even again in this tournament. 2021 Afcon, we had Ghana bombing out in the group stages, we had Algeria bombing out in the group stages. So be rest assured, if things on the administrative side, bonuses, money are not sorted out with the players will definitely retaliate, and we will not see the best performances, and we might also have a shocking winner even this year. Thank you for staying this long. Yes, and do engage and let me hear what you think of YAYA Toure's predictions. What are your predictions about the upcoming Afcon 2023 that is starting in about 2 weeks time in Ivory Coast? Don't forget to subscribe, to comment, to share the content with your friends in all your social. Really appreciate the support. Love you all.